Well, now it's been an interesting morning. I was so excited when I came down here today. These guys are 11 weeks old today. I was so excited. It's day 6, the day that they can go outside. I thought, I'm going to open that hole and those chickens are going to rush out of there like it's their life's calling to be outside. Hell no! Oh, you guys, I sat here for 2 hours and waited for these chickens to come out of that hole, and they would not do it. They would stand at the edge, they'd peek their heads out, they looked really, really interested, but they absolutely would not step out the hole. I have 20 minutes of footage of waiting for them so I could get the first pictures of them stepping outside. Well, the first pictures of them stepping outside would have been me putting them out here because they were so scared to come out here that I had to like physically put them in the enclosure. And I thought, okay, well, I'll take them out one at a time and I'll put them over the fence and I'll just let them chill in the yard. Well, they would sit there and not move. As soon as I sat them down, they would just freeze. And then as soon as they got their bearings, they would immediately go back inside. So what I ended up doing is pushing them all through the hole and blocking it and putting their food and water out here so that they can chill out on the outside because they just don't know what it is. They just don't know what it is. They've been sheltered. Poor sheltered chickens. Poor sheltered pecans. But now they're outside. They're clucking around. They're pecking around on the ground as every chicken should. It's a beautiful day. It's got to be at least 70 degrees. I was sitting in the sun and about had a heat stroke, so... But I'm okay with that. Right, Faddle? I still think they're a little bit in shock. They don't quite know what to do. But I'm happy to see them pecking the ground, because as I was observing them through the hole while I was waiting patiently, or maybe not so patiently, for them to come out, they were eating a lot of their bedding, and that's not good for them. So I'm hoping that getting them out here away from the bedding will deter that, but that's all they've known, so that kind of makes sense. But as you can see, they're all crowded around me like I'm their Lord and Savior. And they have all this room to roam. And where are they? They're all crowded around right here. They'll get it. It'll just take them a minute. But they seem alright. Just a little skittish. You big chickens. What are you, chicken? There's so many worms out here, though. All I have to do is flip over one of these bricks, and it's worm fest. So they will be eating well. We'll check back in with them here in a little bit. Look at who's in the grass. The babies. So I learned my lesson from the big chickens because they were afraid of the grass. And that really made me feel sad. So I brought these guys out here today because it's 82 degrees. I've been in the yard all day, soaking up my vitamin D. I feel so much better. It's so beautiful out here today. Everybody loves it. They weren't scared at all. That made me feel a little bit better. But the other chickens are still, I think they're a bit sheltered. They're city chickens. They don't understand how it works in the country. I'm a little stressed about exactly how I'm going to get these guys down there and then keep them enclosed. Oh, we've got a big truck next door. We'll give them a minute. Because I had to leave the other chickens in the shed for 5 days to make sure that they knew where home was. I'm not going to be able to do that with these guys if I put them down there with the 5 big ones. So I'm in a bit of a quandary about what I'm going to do there, but I'll figure something out. I've been going down there periodically throughout the day to make sure that they're alright and not trying to escape. And they've been going in and out a little bit. They're still a little bit apprehensive, I think. But these friends just took right to it. And I was observing Mr. Ozwald. His two toes are still fused together. I think that's just the way he's going to be. I think it's the way it's going to be. The bees are out in full force today. They've been buzzing all day, all around me. But everybody's doing great. I'm very disappointed in the big chickens, little chickens. You guys make me feel better about life. I was so ready to get prime footage of them coming out for the first time, and it just wasn't going to happen. Bitter disappoint. But they seem okay now. They're going in and out. But I put their water out there and their food, so they don't really have a choice. If they're hungry or thirsty, they kind of have to go out there. So, a little tough love going on with the big birds. So yeah, I completely wore myself out today, doing everything that I can possibly think to do. And everything's wonderful. How you doing there, Parabola? Oh, another loud truck. I have them out in my front yard, so the street noise is real. What you doing, Parabola? Yeah, they finally got a patch of grass worn down to the dirt right here. They've been particularly fascinated with this little edge of the concrete right here. They were pecking around on that. I've had to move their shade. Their shade was over on that side, and then as the sun's moved throughout the day, I've had to keep moving it so they're not in the blazing sun. And they appreciate it. As soon as I move it, they get under it, so I think it makes them feel safe too. So yeah, everybody's doing great, and these guys are loving the grass, and everything's wonderful. I just didn't want to I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about them not being, being scared of going outside. I didn't really think that would be a problem, but we're going to make sure that doesn't happen again. And there's really not a whole lot I could have done anyway. I mean, there were a couple days there that were decent, they were up in the 60s or whatever, so I guess I could have taken them out and, done the same thing with them, but like I said, I had no idea that they would just be terrified to go outside. Very apprehensive. So yeah, we're good. And this gives me a prime opportunity to clean out their cages. Haha. Alright. My most humble apologies for the way that last video ended. I was called to something of import. So here are the big chickens. They are outside on their own. Absolutely not coerced. So this makes me feel better about the whole thing. I knew they would finally get it. It's just a little disheartening when they were like scared to come out here. I'm like, oh god, I broke my chickens. But no. They're doing chicken things again, which is good. I actually thought they would be inside by now because, as you see, the sun is going down. So I figured they'd be inside. I took the baby chickens inside back into their kennel. They actually didn't want to go, it seemed. But they finally relented because I carried them in. So they didn't really have a choice. But they loved that out there today, as far as I can tell. They seemed very, very happy. And I think what I'm going to do, I mentioned my little quandary earlier about getting them acclimated to this place and the 5 days that it'll take to do that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move their whole operation down here. I'm going to make some room move that wood in there and make some room for the babies. And I'm gonna, oh gracious, I'm gonna bring the whole kit and caboodle down here. So that's going to be what happens. I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. So that way they'll get used to this, and maybe being, you know, close to these chickens will kind of get them used to each other. I'm kind of concerned about Fiddle and Ozzy, because Ozzy's a very assertive boy, and so is Fiddle. So I'm a little worried about what's going to happen. Now, chickens, let me talk to you about something. Earlier was the time to do this. Now is the time to sleep. But you know what? I'm going to let them stay out here for a little bit and enjoy the rest of what's left today. It's still like 75 out here. It's been an absolutely gorgeous day. And I'm going to let these guys stay out here because I'm very, very happy to see them out here doing their chicken things. So, very good. Very, very good. I kind of had a feeling they were out here because the dogs kept going to the fence and looking at this side of the, like looking on the other side of things. I was like, oh, the chickens must be out. I kind of wish I would have put this on the other side of the shed so that way I can look out the window and see them and make sure everything's kosher, but I didn't. Just like I didn't put the entrance on the side I wanted to. Hindsight, right? We're all geniuses in hindsight. So yeah, this is them today. Awesome. Good chickens. You're such good chickens. They look so good against the green background. This is what they were supposed to be doing all along. But it was too cold. Alright, I'm going to let these guys cluck around for a little bit. Maybe give them another hour. It doesn't get dark until 7. I think it's close to 7:30 maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to go tuck the little babies in and call it a night, I think. And come back down here and see if these guys are ready for bed yet. We'll see what happens. Oh goodness, yes girl, spread those wings. Action chicken. Bom, bom, bom. Faddle's a funny girl. She keeps doing that. She keeps like zigzagging and running. It's so funny. Alright. Back in a moment. Back again with these babies. And everybody's back in their proper home. Everybody's good. Look at this mess they make. I usually sweep it up and put it back in. But I didn't do that today. I just cleaned them out. So, being a little lazy. Now, I'll get it here in a little bit. Oh, well, would you look there? That door's open. Huh. That's always helpful. You know, it's really funny. Upper management had to run an errand earlier, and he came back and he said, one of the chickens is out in the front. And I was like, what? And I came out there, and she had gotten back in, but the cages had separated a little bit, and she snuck through. And they're so funny when they get out, because they don't just run away like a dog. You know, like a dog gets out of your house, it's like, pew, it's gone, you know. These things don't go anywhere. Like, as soon as they realize they're out of their enclosure, they flip out and start, like, panicking and trying to get back into wherever it is they feel they need to be. So, I wasn't too pressed. Because, like I said, they don't go anywhere. When I was bringing them back in here, I have to carry them in one at a time because, you know, they're a little bigger and I can't do it with two. I can't do 2 at a time. So I was carrying them in, and the Beanstalk brothers were the last ones I grabbed, and I grabbed 2 of them at a time because I could, if I catch them right, I can get them both. I can get one in each hand, and I had 2 of them, and that left no hand to shut the door. So I was like, oh, she'll be fine. And so I turned my back, and she came screaming out of that enclosure and started flying towards the house. Like, no, you're not going anywhere without me, lady. And then she just landed on the porch and just stood there, frozen, like looking at me like she had, she knew that she had done something she wasn't supposed to do. She was the lone soldier in there, and they hate that. They hate being alone. So, I think she was afraid that she was going to be caught out there alone. So, good times, good times. So yeah, I'm going to move this down to Cluckersburg tomorrow, and that means everybody will officially be out of my workshop. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Come again. Not really. Yeah, so that's going to be awesome. Get them used to that place. I'm thinking that the big chickens still being outside might be that they aren't quite used to that place down there yet. I need to get that other roost set up for them because they don't, I think there's only a couple of them that use that tall roost. I don't think that Falco and Fiddle can, or yeah, Fiddle can get up there. So I need to do something about that. But we are officially 9 and 11 weeks today, so that's pretty awesome. And everybody's healthy and happy. Everybody got lots of sun today. It was a good day. I hope you all had a good day as well. And I hope you have a good day tomorrow. Well, we're going to get out of here and tie up a couple loose ends for the day. And that will be that. So everybody have a good one.